Assalamualaikum. My name is Wan Nur Ain and my number matric is ACT4613 ICS. So today I would like to do self-reflection. So for the first question, ethical consideration in accounting and business practices revolve around maintaining transparency, integrity and fairness in financial reporting and decision making. For example, honesty and integrity. Accountants and business professionals must provide accurate and truthful financial information. The mispresentation, fraud, or deliberate manipulation of records is unethical and illegal. Other than that, conflict of interest. Accountants and professionals must avoid situations where interests might conflict with professional duties, ensuring impartiality in decision making. Next, for the challenges in accounting and business practices, whistleblowing dilemmas. The employees who discover unethical practices face the challenge of reporting wrongdoing while risking retaliation or career damage. Next, for the second question, the ethical challenges during course delivery is fairness and grading assessment. I assure that all students are assessed fairly and without bias is crucial. Personal relationships, favoritism, or discrimination based on race, gender, or other factors can create ethical dilemmas. Instructors also must handle borderline cases such as whether to give a student the benefit of the doubt or to strictly follow grading criteria. Next, for the third question, is personal values such as honesty, integrity, responsibility, and fairness strongly aligned with the ethical standards that are expected in the accounting profession. For example, honesty and integrity. Accounting demands accuracy and truthfulness in financial reporting. If honesty is a personal value, it would naturally lead to rejecting any form of fraud or manipulation of numbers, ensuring that financial information is presented accurately and without deceit. This aligns with professional standards requiring transparent and fair financial practices. For the fourth question, the ethical consideration can significantly impact decision-making within an organization by shaping the action of individuals and the overall direction of the company. One of the ways is building trust and reputation. By building trust and reputation, the ethical decision-making fosters trust among stakeholders, including customers, employees, investors, and the community. The organizations that prioritize ethical considerations tend to make decisions that promote transparency and fairness, enhancing their reputation and long-term success. For example, decisions related to honest financial reporting build credibility with investors and regulators. And the last question, how I perceive the potential ethical challenges by pressure to meet financial targets. For example, employees or executives may face intense pressure to meet financial goals, leading to unethical behavior such as falsifying reports, manipulating earnings, or cutting corners on product quality. Other than that, conflict of interest. In the situations where personal interests conflict with professional duties can lead to unethical decisions. For example, an executive might favor suppliers or clients with whom they have personal relationships, compromising fairness. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Good day, Doctor. My name is Nishana Perempuan Mariapan, matrix number S61432. Will be doing individual assignment on pre-reflection. So for the first question, which is understanding ethics, ethical consideration in accounting and business practices are about adhering to principles that promote honesty, integrity, transparency, and fairness. In accounting, ethics ensure that financial reporting is accurate, reliable, and free from manipulation. Ethical challenges often arise when professionals face conflicting interests or pressures. For example, pressure to alter financial statements to make a company's performance appear better than it is, or to overlook discrepancies in order to maintain client relationship. Ethical accountant must remain vigilant and objective, ensuring that their action do not mislead stakeholders and compromise public trust. For the second question, expectation. In learning a professional or environment, anticipate encountering ethical challenges that test principle. During the course, for example, people may ask about work to case studies where the right course of action is not always immediately clear. So some ethical challenges that we could face includes conflict of interest, which some situation where personal interest could influence judgment. For example, if an accountant feels pressured to overlook discrepancies in financial reports to secure and promotion or maintain a client's favor. For the third question, which is self-awareness, personal values plays a significant role in shaping your professional ethics. If you value honesty, integrity, and responsibility in your personal life, these values likely align with the ethical standards expected in your accounting professions. Accountants are required to uphold principles such as objectivity, confidentiality, and due care. For instance, if you strongly value honesty, you are more likely to resist pressure to misreport financial information, even if there is external incentive to do so. Similarly, valuing responsibility may make you more aware of how your action affects stakeholders such as employees, stakeholders, and customers, leading you to act with their best interest in mind. Being aware of your own values helps to understand how they intersect with your personal ethics. This alignment strengthens your ability to act ethically in difficult situations when you face opposition or temptation to compromise. So for the next question, application. Ethical consideration directly impact decision making within an organization, and decision made without ethical reflection can lead to negative consequences. In accounting, for example, failing to adhere to ethical standards in financial reporting can result to misleading information being provided to investors, which can damage an organization's credibility and cause financial loss. Decision making is also shaped by ethical frameworks. For example, an ethical decision-making process would involve considering not just profitability but also the well-being of the stakeholders. Ethical leaders tend to promote a culture of integrity which leads to sustainable growth, increased trust of investors, and positive work environment. For example, we can consider the case of companies like Enron and WorldCom, where unethical failures reporting lead to their eventual downfall. In both cases, the decision was made to manipulate financial data to present a healthier financial position than it is. So for next, awareness of consequences. Unethical behavior in business can lead to significant consequences to both of individual and organization. On an individual level, professionals who engage in unethical practices risk losing their professional license, damaging their reputation, or facing legal penalties like fines. For businesses, unethical behavior can result in loss of stakeholders' trust, damage their brand, and financial penalties. It also can result in regulatory scrutiny and legal action, which can be costly and time-consuming to resolve. In conclusion, understanding ethics in accounting and business practices is essential for ensuring integrity, building trust, and promoting long-term success. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Shivala Chimanamometry X61746, and today I want to give my self-reflection on pre-reflection task. So there is 5 key points which is started from the understanding ethics. So for the ethics, the ethical consideration in accounting and business practice involving the principles that guide a professional in making decisions that are fair, transparent, and accountable. There is also such challenges where we can include issues like financial misreporting, conflict of interest, maintaining the confidentiality, and ethical dilemmas also arise when there is a conflict between the personal gain and also the professional responsibility. Okay, the second key point is expectations. So during the course delivery, I anticipate facing the challenges like navigating areas in ethical guidelines, addressing the situation where profit motivates conflict with ethical standard, and also understanding the implications of regulatory compliance. Additions, there's also discussion may arise across the culture difference in ethical perspective, especially in a global business context. The third point is self-awareness, where my personal value, which emphasize integrity, transparency, and accountability, align closely with the ethical standard expected in the accounting professional. I believe that honesty and ethical behavior are essential for build trust with both client and also with the organization. This alignment motivate me to hold the value in the professional interactions. Okay, the fourth point is applications, where the ethical consideration is significantly impact decision making within the organization. So, instance, they guide leaders in making choice that not only comply with law but also align with the organization's value. So, ethical decision making is fostered a positive workplace culture, enhancing the reputation, and also can lead to a sustainability business practice. Okay, my final point here is awareness of consequences. So, whenever refer to the consequences, the potential consequences for the unethical behavior in the business context can be include like legal penalties, loss of reputations, and diminishing of employee morality. There's also unethical practice that can be lead to financial losses and also break the trust among the client and also stakeholders. Recognizing the risk will emphasizing the importance of fostering the ethical culture within the organization, as well as for the long-term benefits and also short-term gain achieved throughout the unethical meanings. That's all from me. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nick Muhammad Amin bin Nick Sharifullah, and my metric number is S62703. Now let's go through this individual assignment with the 5 questions. So the first question is ethical consideration and challenges in accounting. What I understand most regarding ethical consideration and challenges in the accounting field is that the moral precepts and guidelines that direct accountants' behavior are referred to as accounting ethics. Now, to overcome ethical challenges, the generally accepted accounting principle, GAAP, and international financial reporting standards has created guidelines, and these guidelines uphold honesty and integrity in accounting reporting and judgment. Situations involving ethical decision making are common for accountants when business goals and financial pressures clash with the values of accuracy and transparency in the financial reporting. The following problems frequently occur. Common challenges such as management may put pressure on an accountant to postpone recording some expenses in order to show a more positive financial picture, even if doing so would go against GAAP ethical standards and principles. Now, the second question is, what ethical challenges do you anticipate encountering during the course? In my opinion, during the course delivery, there is a high risk of plagiarism and not being honest during quiz or any assignments. However, these ethical challenges are based upon one's integrity and their individual values. Moving on to the third question, how do you think your personal values aligns with the ethical standards? Well, as an accounting student, because they are based on comparable principle, my personal beliefs and the ethical standards required in the accounting profession closely match. To demonstrate, I prioritize honesty in my work, whether it's in assignments, exams, or group projects. This mirrors the expectation in accounting to provide the truthful and transparent financial information. The fourth question, in what ways do you think ethical consideration can impact decision making within an organization? Based on my knowledge, Ethical consideration can give such impact in terms of decision making within an organization because they aid in directing actions that are consistent with legal requirements, corporate values, and societal expectation. To illustrate this, decision makers prioritize adherence to industry regulatory regulations and legal standards thanks to ethical consideration. Businesses that disregards their ethical responsibilities risk fines, losses, or reputational harm as a result of unethical behavior like fraud or corruption. Now, the last question, how do you perceive the potential ethical challenges or consequences of unethical behavior in a business context? The ethical challenges and ramifications of unethical behavior in a business context are extensive and can lead to both immediate and enduring detrimental effects. As an evidence, engaging in unethical practices such as fraud, insider trading, or bribery can lead to violation of laws and regulation, resulting in significant legal consequences. These actions may expose the organization and individuals involved to lawsuits, hefty fines, sanctions, or even criminal charges. Additionally, legal battles can drain financial resources, and the public disclosure of such misconduct often further damages the company's reputation, exaggerate, exacerbating the long-term impact on its standing and stakeholder trust. I think I have answered the 5 questions, and by ending the fifth question, that is all from me. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
For the first question, ethical consideration in accounting and businesses are about ensuring honesty, transparency, and fairness in all business dealing. Ethical standards are critical to maintaining public trust and integrity of financial information. Common challenges include ensuring the financial statements are not manipulated, avoiding conflicts of interest, and adhering to strict confidentiality. The pressure to meet targets or satisfy stakeholders can sometimes lead to ethical dilemmas. For the second question, one likely challenge is dealing with confidentiality and transparency. For example, we may face scenarios where sensitive financial information needs to be kept private, but there could be also situations where ethical consideration require that such information be disclosed. Additionally, I expect to explore ethical dilemmas related to manipulation of financial statements. We might encounter case studies where there's pressure to adjust financial data to meet targets. Moving to the next question, my personal values such as honesty, responsibility, and fairness align closely with the ethical standard expected in the accounting profession. I believe that maintaining integrity is crucial, even when faced with difficult decisions or external pressures. However, I also recognize that there are many instances where personal values, like loyalty to a team, company, might conflict with professional ethics, such as when reporting unethical behavior within an organization. In such cases, I will need to prioritize the broader ethical responsibility of my profession. For the fourth question, ethical considerations significantly influence decision making within an organization because they create a framework for making choices that are not legally compliant but morally sound. For instance, a company that values ethics will prioritize decisions that transparency with stakeholders, even if it's facing short-term financial losses. Ethical decision making also helps prevent legal issues and fosters a positive company culture, leading to a long-term sustainability. On the other hand, ignoring ethics can result in damaged reputation, financial penalties, and the loss of customer trust. For the last question, the consequences of unethical behavior in a business context can be severe and far-reaching. Unethical actions like financial fraud or misleading investors can lead to legal sanctions, hefty fines, and even imprisonment for those involved. Beyond legal consequences, unethical behavior can damage a company's reputation, causing a loss of trust among clients, employees, and shareholders. This can be result in loss of business, decreased employee morale, and long-term harm to company sustainability. Therefore, it's critical to approach every decision with an awareness of both immediate and long-term impacts of unethical conduct. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Sharvina Sanmaraju, metric number S62560. In this video, we will be discussing ethical considerations in accounting and business practices, focusing on what we currently understand about ethics, the challenge we anticipate, and how personal values align with professional ethical standards. For the first question, when it comes to ethics in accounting and business, the first thing that comes to mind is the responsibility to act with honesty and integrity. Accountants handle sensitive financial information, and ethical conduct ensures that stakeholders, including investors, creditors, and the public, can trust the financial statement produced. Ethical challenges arise in situations like aggressive accounting, where professionals may be pressured to bend the rules, for example, by altering revenue recognition or delaying expenses to improve financial results. Maintaining ethics involves resisting these pressures while upholding accuracy and transparency. Answering question 2, I anticipate encountering several ethical challenges throughout this course. One major challenge will be learning how to manage conflicts of interest. In real-life scenarios, there are often competing pressures from management, clients, and regulators, each demanding different outcomes. For instance, an accountant may face requests from upper management to manipulate financial reports to meet performance targets. Navigating these situations will require a deep understanding of both ethical standards and practical solutions that maintain integrity without compromising professional relationships. Answering question 3, from a personal perspective, my values of honesty and diligence resonate strongly with the ethical standards expected in the accounting profession. I've always believed in the importance of taking responsibility for my actions, especially when dealing with something as critical as financial data. However, I also realize that real-world situations may challenge these values. For instance, I may be placed in situations where I need to stand firm against unethical practices, even if that means risking backlash from colleagues or superiors. This is where a solid ethical foundation and self-awareness will help me make decisions that align with my values and professional expectations. For question 4, ethical considerations have a direct impact on decision making in any organization. For example, decisions related to revenue recognition, expense deferral, or asset valuation can significantly influence a company's financial position. If these decisions are made unethically, even within the boundaries of legality, it can lead to long-term negative consequences such as loss of investor confidence, regulatory penalties, or reputational damage. Ethical decision making ensures that all stakeholders are treated fairly, and it reinforces trust in the organization's financial reporting and governance. Answering question 5, unethical behavior, whether intentional or not, can have far-reaching consequences in a business context. In accounting, a failure to adhere to ethical standards could result in financial misstatements, leading to legal actions, regulatory scrutiny, and loss of public trust. For instance, high-profile accounting scandals like Enron and Lehman Brothers showed the devastating impact unethical behavior can have, not only on the company but also on employees, shareholders, and the wider economy. The lessons from this case emphasize the importance of maintaining ethical standards to avoid such damaging outcomes.